All right, what is up, guys? We're back at it again with another video here talking about Nick Walker's insane transformation. Jeez Louise, man, this is a lot of muscle in, well, I wouldn't say a short amount of time. These two photos are about 10 years apart. I think this was him at the Teen Nationals back in 2013 maybe, and this is him now in the Mr. Olympia placing third in 2022. So 9, 10 years, of course, you're gonna grow and gain muscle and be incredibly different bodybuilder than you were before. But before we get into the comparisons, mind, just appreciate the aesthetics of his waist before. I mean, that's not a bad waist by any stretch of the imagination. Even now, I mean, his waist, if he stands head on, it's pretty bad. But when he gets into the poses, he does a very good job of showcasing his V-taper, his silhouette, and sucking the waist in as much as he can. Now we're going to take a look at some really old school videos of Nick Walker training. This is Nick, I think 10 weeks out of the Teen Nationals in 2013 maybe. I think it was 13. Training his best body part, arms. I mean, Nick Walker is known for arms. When you hear Nick Walker, you think about freaking biceps and just girth of the arms, man. Now you're looking at this guy and you'll think, okay, well, he looks pretty good, pretty jacked, but by no means is he any type of big time bodybuilder. Obviously here he's like 17, 18 years old, so give the guy a break, right? But pretty good arms overall, but when you skip all the way to now, I mean, what is that? Like, my God, bro. That is an insane amount of growth, and there's guys that's been on the circuit for just as long who has not come anywhere near this level of growth and development. I mean, obviously there's a genetic component here to where he is just a incredible hyper responder. I mean, my God, he is just responding to anything and everything. And this is the actual show. I believe this was the Eastern USA's, okay? And that's Nick on the far right in the blue trunks. Not super conditioned, but he's a teen here. Probably one of his first, maybe 3-4 shows. He hasn't been competing for too long. That's the competition. He has no competition if you compare him to these guys. Look at this. Move him in the middle. Of course, they're going to move him in, at least closer in the center. But you can just appreciate the size in this guy being 17, 18 years old. And compare this to what we will eventually get if we actually take just a step back and go here. Damn. That is craziness. So I actually want to see him get into some poses here. So that's the front double of Nick. Pretty good front double. Legs, arms, obviously. And if we see the front double of Nick here, I mean, that is just wild. That is, legs and arms, and I mean, obviously everything is just insane when it comes to growth. I mean, geez. These other guys next to him aren't even close. Like, they're not even close. I mean, not even with the quads, not even the calves, not even with the arms, not with nothing. I mean, he's leagues beyond all of these guys, easy. Just the quads alone, I mean, his quads are far thicker than anyone in his lineup. Obviously, these are teenagers. I'm not going to be too hard on any of them. I mean, to look like this as an adult, a full-grown adult male, is impressive, much less looking like this as a teenager. Like, what teenager has that back? Let's actually skip to Nick actually hitting his back double here, shall we? And, what better comparison to make by comparing him to himself, right? Hit the back double, up, down. I love how he does the very slow, subtle squeeze. Look at that. That is insane. Wow. So let's actually get into some comparison photos. So this is the first photo you guys saw, the front double bicep. Actually don't have all photos of all mandatories. They just didn't take photos of everything. But I mean, look at this, man. This is crazy. Legs and just arms. His conditioning here actually is not horrible at all. It's actually a pretty good conditioning when it comes to, teen nationals. You can see the separation all the way down the thigh, the abductor, teardrop, abdominal wall. Everything is there. I mean, conditioning is not bad when it comes to your first couple shows. I mean, my first show, my conditioning was good, but it definitely wasn't the best it could have been. Moving on here now, this is a hands together most muscular. He's actually hitting it a little differently in the Mr. Olympia version. His fists are together versus one hand over the other and squeezing, but you can see all the muscle that he was about to build. I mean, this guy at this age, being a teenager, holding that level of size, you can tell this guy was going to just balloon and explode in the next couple of years if he kept it up. And he did keep it up. There's actually a point where Nick said that if he did not turn pro, he would have quit bodybuilding. And I don't know what Nick would have done other than bodybuilding. Because I think he tried for a couple years. I think he was on the amateur circuit trying to actually get his pro card from 2016. And he eventually pulled it off in what I believe in 2020, was it? I think. Was it 2020? Yeah, I think it was 2020. He actually pulled it off and got his pro card. So a 4-year hunt for his pro card, coming 6th, coming 3rd, coming 2nd, eventually winning the show. So good on him for sticking through it and actually getting the pro card, because he is one of the best in the world, in the absolute freaking world. Here's a side chest variation. Like I said, you can appreciate the muscle that was about to be built. Arms from the side looks great. You can see the chest is a bit to be desired. He fixed that. No problem at all. He fixed that and then some. Delts could have used more work. He fixed that. This actually the full photo, so there's no actual good look of the hamstring drop in quad sweep, but his legs were good here from what I could see from the other comparison photos as well. Just mass, man. Just the growth and development and just everything he's put on. I'm not sure what he weighed here. You know, he's short. He's 5'7". So I would guess I'm looking at maybe 185, 190 Nick Walker. Now he's weighing, I think, 258 on stage. So what is that, 70 pounds? He's closing in on that 100-pound gain. I mean, he's still a couple pounds of weight. Well, quite a few pounds away. I don't think he'll ever gain 100 pounds between this photo and his current, because that would put him at about 285. And when you talk about a 5'7" bodybuilder, him being 258 pounds, having to put on that amount of additional weight to get to 285, yeah, like that's unnecessary. It's too much. Moving on here, we have a most muscular, not the same variations. Like I said, I couldn't find. He actually didn't hit this variation at this particular show. He hit a couple different ones, like the crab most muscular, like looking at right now. Showing some very good vascularity in the delts. Obviously, with this variation here, I mean, it's just like full-blown monster. I mean, my God, everything is just stupid wild. Moving on here, this is a back double, and you can see the potential of what his back was. I mean, that was a very good back. You can see that at 17, 18, 19, he already had a full developed Christmas tree. The back just needed more growth, it needed more width, and it definitely got bigger, and it definitely got wider. More conditioning, yep, he got more conditioning, more hamstrings, he got that more arms. He didn't need more arms, but he got more arms, more shoulders, everything, man. Like, it is just complete insanity when it comes to the transformation of this guy. Like I say, you see a lot of guys coming to circuit, and they don't stick to it because everyone wants a quick pro card. Everyone wants to just take a couple cycles, blow up, be very competitive right out of the gate. And Nick was competitive when it comes to the regional shows, but the nationals, he actually did get slaughtered for quite a few years there. But when he actually put together and brought it, he definitely brought it, and he dominated the competition. And he, I think 4 months after that, did the Chicago Pro, his first pro show, taking 4th in a pro lineup. Then just, I think 9 months later, going to the New York Pro, winning. And then 2.5 months after that, doing the Arnold Classic, winning. And then placing top 5 first Olympia. Next year, placing top 3. I mean, you know, his placings were not great. Like, they really were not that great. And he just packed on a ton of muscle really fast. And he closed that gap faster than I think I've ever seen anyone do it. You know, to turn pro at that point, after coming off of what I would consider, I don't want to say a lackluster amateur career. I mean, you know, he lost more than he won as an amateur based off of his record. to all of a sudden be dominating the pro stage and placing top 5 at the Olympia. I mean, this guy's never been outside the top 5 at the Olympia ever. He's never been outside the top 5 of any pro show ever. And that's kind of like reminiscent of like a Phil Heath. Phil Heath debuting, I believe he debuted in the top 3. I think Kai Green debuted top 4. Flex Wheeler debuted second. Derek Lunsford debuted second. You know, I mean, that was wild. Derek Lunsford. He was in conversations of like a Flex Wheeler, like a Kevin LeBron, like a Sean Ray, who debuted second place at the Olympia. Insane, man. I'll make a video about him one day. But Nick Walker, man, just really insane transformation. Nasty transformation, guys. So down below, let me know what you think about Nick Walker and his insane growth. About, I would say, 70 pounds between these two photos, give or take, based off of just what I think he weighs. I don't actually know what he weighs in this photo. I mean, he could very well be 200 pounds, which would be just a 60-pound gain, which is still a massive amount of muscle gain in 9 years. You know, even so, though, that's, you know, it could have been 40. Like, that's still in a lot of muscle. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, comment down below. If you're not subscribed, make it a thing. Sub to the boy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.